Princeton Tiger Football is on the air tonight from Bryant Field on the campus of Princeton High School. It's the Tigers hosting the Orion Chargers. We want to thank our sponsors of Tiger Football and Tiger Central Live. They include Midland Bank, Micklig Energy, Princeton Ready Crete, Beck's, and Central Bank. And also a big thanks to the Princeton Public Schools Foundation. It's a warm Thursday evening on the first day of September. I'm Norm Vandermoon, joined by Princeton's head basketball coach, Jason Smith. Steve Morton, Princeton's technology advisor, is our producer-director. Steve Gray, an outstanding cameraman, is here, along with student helpers Cail Piper, Austin Gordon, and Colby Clemens. And a new feature this year, PHS social studies teacher Brody Anderson is our sideline reporter, as our crew is all set to capture these high school football headlines as they are being made. Tonight's game at a glance, Princeton Tigers 1-0, 10-2 last year, coached by Ryan Pearson, enrollment 546. The Orion Chargers 1-0. They were 4-5 last year, a rare playoff miss for them. They are coached by Chip Filler. Their enrollment 337. The last game between Orion and Princeton was a Princeton win, 45-7. However, all time, Orion has more than held their own as they lead the series 7-3. Well, in week one, the Princeton Tigers victorious over Rockridge, 41-22. And Schmitty, I know you were there for that game. Your thoughts?
Well, I think, both teams had the first half jitters. I think defensively, Rockridge came out with some things that Coach Pearson and the coaching staff wasn't exactly prepared for it because they didn't know what kind of defensive scheme he was going to run. But I thought halftime is where the game was won for the Tigers. As the coaches made a nice job of some halftime adjustments, did some blocking assignments, and first play for scrimmage, Tegan Davis ran an 85-yard touchdown run, and it was all downhill from there. So I thought the Tigers did a nice job of overcoming some adversity in that first half. They were started by Brady Byers' interception back for the touchdown, and then he came back and followed with a nice long touchdown run of his own, and it was up 13-0, 14-0, and then they had Rockridge was ready to pass a screen pass, and we had Cy Hockey pick that off for a touchdown, but negated by a penalty, and that's when Rockridge scored, and the momentum kind of turned a little bit. And I thought Princeton did a nice job. The Tigers did a nice job of overcoming that adversity, and then after half, it was all Tigers all the way the whole half, and they won 41-22.
All right, and as we mentioned, Brody Anderson is our sideline reporter. And Brody, it's obviously a warm night tonight. Can you inform us as far as what the temperature is? Okay, we're still working on it, but
give you a little more heads up.
Yeah. Other scores from last week. You want to go ahead and go over them, Schmitty?
Yeah, I will. Of course, get the Tigers over the Rockridge Rockets, 41-22. Villa Grove 33, Bureau Valley 12, Orion 42, Hall 12. Monmouth Roseville, who some predict to win that conference on the other side, beats Kewanee 22-16. Erie Prophetstown 54-34 in a high-scoring contest there. St. Bede edged out Sherrard 28-14. Newman 28, Morrison 6. Mercer County 24, Farmington 8. Farmington was 11-1 last year. Amboy Lamoille 28, Polo 12, who was 9-0 last year. Peoria High 34, Metamora 16. Unfortunate little circumstances in that game where they got it canceled and Metamora forfeited, but that was in the second quarter. Anawan Weathersfield 35, Monmouth United 16. Stark County 49, Nokomis 21. LP LaSalle Peru 31-21 over United Township of East Moline. Stillman Valley 15, Byron 7, who was 12-0 in the champs last year. I thought that was a little bit of an upset, last week when I heard that. Dixon 34, Oregon 6, Rockford Christian 14, and Rock Falls 0. St. Joe Ogden 21, Monticello 14, and Paxton Buckley Loda 28, IVC Chillicothe 20.
Thank you very much, Schmitty. All right, I believe we've made connections with Brody. And Brody, I think you can testify to the fact that it is a warm evening.
I actually get to be in front of you guys. So I hope you stick around and have a good time. It's a beautiful night out here. It's a gorgeous night. The sun is setting, and we are excited to have you guys. Back to you, Norm.
All right. Schmitty, thanks for that recap on those Week 1 scores. And it really was interesting. Farmington, who many thought a shoo-in to be a contender to go to state, they have lost. Defending champion Byron lost. Monticello, former state champion, they lost. Polo, considered to be the top team in 8-man football, beaten by Amboy Lamoille. So, folks, that's why we play these games. You just never know. Schmitty, if you could, a little recap on some Tiger stats.
Yeah. So last Friday night, Tegan Davis ran the ball for 14 times for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brady Byers, I alluded to earlier, had that one attempt for 51 yards and a touchdown. Augie Christensen, 8 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. And C.J. Hickey with 8 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. Davis also was 4 for 8 for 62 yards, completing a long one to Brady Byers, had 1 catch for 40 yards. And Noah Laporte, 2 catches for 14 yards. And Danny Saihaki, 1 catch for 8 yards. Norm, I want to highlight, though, some of the defensive players.
Please do.
I thought, Augie Christensen played really well on the defensive end. I thought a kid like Arthur Burden, number 9, watch out for him. He had a whale of a game at the linebacker spot. He was flying around, making some plays. It was good stuff there. So, and then we always forget about the guys up front. Like, you got Bennett Williams up front. You got Brady Piacenti up front. You got kids like Miller up front. So those kids all do a nice job of blocking for these guys to run the ball. And on the opposite side, they do a nice job on the defensive line as well. So, without the D-line and the O-line, the running backs and the linebackers do not get the accolades that they get.
Absolutely. Of course, tonight is Thursday, and one of the things we're going to be dealing with this year is there is a shortage of officials. I talked to one local athletic director who said we might be seeing Saturday morning games, Saturday afternoon games, so we'll see how that all plays out. Go ahead, Shmini.
I did talk to Coach Pearson earlier today about some of the preparation he has to do on an early game like a Thursday, and he said it's a lot of usually you have a day off on, not a day off on Monday, but usually film and no practice on Monday. And they had to do a light practice on Monday. And then it was more of a full practice on Thursday that they're not used to. But they ran a late practice yesterday just because more of a, not physically, but more of a mental reps. And so they had to just combine, all those into 4 days. And he said that, Orion's in the same boat, so there's no sense of
To welcome our visitors from Orion High School, the band will now play their school
I think we'll turn it over to the band at this time, and we will listen in. Sounds like the Orion fight song is going to lead things off.
Tiger fans, on your feet. Let's show your blue and white pride as the PHF band plays Princeton Loyalty and our fight song. Let's win this game.
Lions won the toss. They have deferred. They will kick from the scoreboard.
The officials for tonight's game: referee Jim Adamski, umpire Scott Sutherland, linesman Griffin Leininger, line judge Roger Wittenauer, and the back judge
is Joe Schiffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand, remove your caps as the band, under the direction of Mr. Stephen Olson, honors America with our national anthem.
And we're about 3 minutes till kickoff. As we mentioned, we have Brody Anderson on board as our sideline reporter. And we have some other activities going on tonight besides just football. We have volleyball going on and also golf. And Brody is one of our golf coaches. And Brody, if you can hear me, if you can give a report, that'd be great. Well, we're still working that out. But anyway, more to talk about here. Week 2 games, in addition to Orion and Princeton, we do have a couple of other Thursday games of 8-man football. Bushnell's at Cambridge, which is also known as Ridgewood, and Peoria Heights at Galvin. Those are the other Thursday games.
Tigers!
As the Tigers take the field.
Benavidez getting set to kick for Princeton.
Taking a look at a squib kick, and they're able to recover it at about their own 32
Number 32,
yard line,
Maddox Arnold.
where it'll be first and 10. As we
kickoff.
mentioned, Orion victorious in their Week 1 game over Hall. That score was 42-12.
So Orion bringing back a lot of people back from last year, with the exception of maybe a quarterback and a running back. You got quarterback number 2, Cail Filler, which is the coach's son, taking over the helm as a freshman. Big undertaking by a freshman, but he actually played pretty well last week, so keep your eye on him.
Shotgun formation, and the Chargers keep it on the ground, and this isn't going to go for much. Maybe a yard. Danny Saihaki, among others, in on that stop. Second down and 9 for the Chargers. Now Filler to throw, and the pass is complete. It's good for a first down. Hauling that one in is
Number
Bladen
20,
Murdoch.
Murdoch on the
So
reception.
Filler off to a good start.
Absolutely, yes.
Augie
That was
Christensen on
enough
the
for about a
tackle for the
13-yard
Tigers.
pass, and enough for Orion first down. So right away. They're running a no huddle, and they're right back at the line.
1st and 10 for the Chargers. No score, just underway at Bryant Field. Filler rolls to his right, throws, and the pass is low, incomplete. Inside the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Once again intended for Murdoch. 2nd and 10, and a running play up the middle, and once again the Tiger defense, Schmitty, all over it.
Yeah, Bennett Williams, number 52 for the Tigers as well. Ian Morris and Burden there, all with the stop, and they just did a nice job of annihilating number 23, it looked like, with the carry. What's his name? Cole Kratzberg.
So 3rd and 12. Empty backfield, man in motion as Filler awaits the shotgun snap. He has it, looks to throw, and the pass is intercepted. It is picked off by Tegan Davis. And Davis goes to the far side of the field, and he is making tremendous yardage. Knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 40-yard line of Orion.
Tegan, it was just an errant throw by Filler, and Tegan was the recipient of it, and he was right there, made a nice grab, and I was curious to see what Tegan was going to do, because when he gets open space, watch out. He did a nice job returning, about a 17-yard return, and now the Tigers are in good field position at 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line, or Orion's 38-yard line, excuse me.
So Davis is going to go under center here. And on 1st down, the Tigers keep it on the ground. And a nice gain on 1st down, and that's C.J. Hickey on the carry.
Yeah, just a little toss right behind him, and Tegan lead blocks, and they got a lot of blockers out in front of him, and C.J. doing the rest, and picks up 6 yards on the play. So good job by Hickey and that offensive line.
C.J., of course, last year, a big opening night game and then an injury, but he's bounced back really nicely. Shotgun formation, man in motion. And the handoff goes to Hickey once again. This time, the Chargers up to the challenge. Very little gain on that one. It'll bring up about 3rd and 4.
Yeah, the Chargers' defensive line kind of held true right there as Hickey only gained about a yard on the play, but it was a little misdirection as they gave the same look with the motion, and this time handing it straight off to Hickey.
Noah Laporte and Brady Byers wide to the near side of the field. And Davis back to throw, lets it go, and he's got a man open. That's Augie Christensen, and that is a touchdown. 32 yards. Davis to Christensen at the 9:36 mark of the 1st period.
Nice design play by the coaches of the Tigers. It was a seam route by Augie right down the middle out of the slot position, and Tegan had a nice touch on the ball, and a 32-yard touchdown between Davis and Christensen puts the Tigers up 6-0.
And Benavidez's extra point kick, absolutely perfect, and the Tigers are off to a good start, leading 7-0.
Couldn't ask for a better series there. You have a pick on one end, and then you have a touchdown within 4 plays on the next end. Great job by the Tigers. Exactly what the doctor has subscribed for us. Perfected it, made them pay with that penalty, Norm. It was just a textbook perfect drive after a pick, after a turnover.
You know, Schmitty, we talked about in the opening that in the all-time series, Orion leads 7-3. One of the things that's been kind of interesting through the years is very few close games. It's been one team winning by 30 or 40 points on most occasions.
Yeah, you're right, Norm. And then, it just seems like one team dominates or the other team dominates, and we don't get very good close scores. And, I think the Tigers are going to see a lot of that this year. They're a pretty talented team, ranked, I believe, number 4 in the state right now. So, big things coming up for the Princeton Tigers, that is for sure.
All right, so Carlos Benavidez ready to kick off once again. Remember the first time it was a squib kick. Will they alter and kick it deep this time? About a medium range kick. headed toward the sidelines, and the Chargers pick it up, and immediately
Return by number
going
5,
out of
Gunn.
bounds is Drake Gunn.
Out of bounds at the 20-yard line, where the Chargers will start first and 10.
As you see, coach is giving last-minute instructions to the Orion team coming out. Probably talk about the first couple plays they kind of want to run. You know, running that no-huddle offense. You always have a second play in mind after the first play. So, see what happens after the young fella got a turnover. See how Philly reacts to that.
First and 10 at Orion's 20. This is their second possession. And they keep it on the ground, and this is going nowhere. That was Drake Gunn on the carry. Ace Christensen in on the stop. Second and 11.
Nice job by the Tigers adjusting to that wishbone offense. First time we've seen that look with the three backs in the backfield, and it did not fool the Tigers whatsoever.
Chargers going to keep it on the ground once again. And Schmitty, you talked about it in the opening. Those guys up front, and Princeton's winning the battle.
Yeah, Bennett Williams is dominating right now. You see him back in the backfield almost every single possession right now. That they cannot get a playoff without Bennett, number 51 in the backfield.
Lights are on here at Bryant Field as the sun is set behind the school. Third down and 14 for the Chargers.
You got to be careful if you're the young QB right here. Don't want to turn it over right here.
Will the Tigers bring extra heat? No, they're only rushing 3, and the pass is too high. Incomplete. Intended for Murdoch. And fourth down and 13 coming up for the Orion Chargers.
I think Orion wanted to waste a little more time off the clock, as when the Tigers scored, I believe, they had 9:36, so they only wasted a minute off the clock between the kickoff and their 3 possessions, or 3 plays on the field. Three and done. Not going to be a good night for the Chargers. They keep that up.
Noah Laporte standing deep for the Tigers at the Princeton 40. The punt is away. It's going to bounce at about the 50, and Noah is going to pick it up. And he's able to eke out a nice return under the circumstances. Gets it down to about the 44 of Orion.
Number 11.
Great job by Noah Laporte, not letting the ball simmer there. He picked it up, gained about another 11 yards in the play. Good field position again at the 44-yard line of the Orion Chargers, where Princeton's looking to make them pay for that, that minute drive they had, I guess.
So the Tigers will take over in Orion territory. First and 10 at the 44. Davis looks to throw, and his pass just off the mark. Intended for Noah Laporte.
Did not look like Davis and Laporte was on the same page. Laporte was running a different route that Davis thought he was going to run. So they got to work out that communication. That's what you're going to see with the receivers that Teagan has this year is, they got to work it out a little bit during the season so they be crisp later on in the season.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Hickey, the running back, near Teagan Davis, and the handoff goes to C.J. Hickey. He's going to surge ahead for about 3 yards, and will bring up third and long.
Yeah, that time, our O-line didn't do a very good job of getting off the ball there. If they get off the ball just a little bit further, C.J.'s maybe gone for the races there.
Third down and 6. Right up the middle, and it is Hickey, and he may go all the way. He will. A 40-yard touchdown run by C.J. Hickey with 7:33 to go in the first period.
Yeah, Norm, just as I alluded to earlier, if we could sustain the blocks just a little bit more, and I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I was an offensive lineman in high school. easier said than done. Good things will happen, and that time the offensive line got off the ball, created a seam. Hickey hit that seam hard and got a 40-yard touchdown run with 7:33 to go in this first quarter.
Carlos Benavidez once again perfect on the PAT, and the Tiger lead is now 14-0.
So in 2 minute span, Norm, the Tigers have scored 14 points in 2 minutes. It's crazy. That's the potent offense that they have. The offensive line is capable of doing that stuff. We have the backs that will generate some long runs like that, and we have a QB that can either run or pass the ball as well. It's a dangerous combination for an offense that's really, really clicking on all cylinders tonight.
And then you look at the defense. It's phenomenal. Let's go to a report to Brody Anderson on Princeton volleyball.
All right, we're going to bring you tonight's other games going on right now. People always tell me, they go, I do a lot around here. And one of them is I help coach golf. And I can safely report that the boys in both JV and varsity golf won tonight over Kewanee. And other games going on, we have Princeton versus Allman, as well as Depew and Hall. And then in volleyball, I'm waiting on a score right now for this, guys. But we have Princeton at Hall, Lamoille at Newark, Vera Valley at Newman, and finally, Putnam County at Roanoke Benson. Back to you in the booth, Norm.
All right, so Benavidez ready to kick off once again. And the Chargers fielded at about their 20. A decent return out to around the 35-yard line.
Their numbers are hard to read, Norm, excuse me, but it's hard to see, especially for an old guy like me.
No, they for anybody.
But it looked like it might have been Drake Gunn maybe receiving that ball.
That's what I thought as well.
And he ran the ball really hard. I thought, no quitting that kid. Down 14-0. He's trying to gain as much as he can. Let's see what offensive adjustments Orion makes here in this third series of the game.
Well, they have not been able to run the ball effectively whatsoever. This time, Filler takes the shotgun snap. He looks to throw. He has some time. Fires deep over the head of his intended receiver. That was intended for Cole Kratzberg. We'll bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, Filler, who's only I don't have his size. He's not very tall out there. Trying to throw over the big defensive lineman of the Tigers, and doesn't look like he can see his receivers very well, especially when they have their hands up. Just overthrew his intended target there. Has missed his last 4 throws after completing his first one. This
time the Chargers go to the ground, and once again, pretty much stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That was Drake Gunn on the carry.
Number 34, Dan Sousa on the stop.
I think the defensive line is doing a nice job of getting leverage, either staying their ground or getting in the backfield, and the linebackers just cleaning it up, like Ian Morris there or Daniel Sousa there to make the tackle.
3rd and 10. Filler to throw. He's under heavy pressure. Lets it go, and it's intercepted once again by Tegan Davis. And Davis outrunning everyone. He may go all the way. Gets close down inside the 15-yard line, and there is a flag. So we'll see how this all sorts out.
It happened last week. You're gonna see like maybe probably roughing the quarterback or something, and they're gonna negate the interception, and Orion's gonna get the ball back.
So, Schmitty, you were exactly right.
It's a tough call. It's twice that's happened to us in 2 games. And what you're taught as a defensive lineman is get your hands up when they're getting ready to throw the ball. That's what they're doing, and they come down, and they probably maybe touch their head or something. I don't know. First penalty of the game for the Tigers, but I can't fault those guys for that. I can't.
1st and 10 at the Tiger 49. Once again, the Chargers trying to make some gain on the ground, but it is not working whatsoever. Colt Kratzberg on that carry.
Yeah, Ian Morris came in like a house of fire and said, "Not today, kid." He annihilated them in the backfield.
Well, with the loss on the play, that puts Orion back in their own territory at the 48. 14-0 Princeton, 6:16 to go in the first period. And it's a reverse, and that's not going to work thanks to the excellent work of Princeton's number 70.
75 it was. It was Miller, number 75, Payne Miller. Yeah, that's big boy football right there. You ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to grab your shirt and take you down gently, he says.
Yeah, that's the end of the line when Payne gets a hold of you, that's for sure. 3rd down and 22. Passing situation for the Chargers, but they're just going to keep it on the ground and eke out a couple of yards, as that is Kratzberg on the carry. Bring up 4th down.
So far I have, it's unofficial stats, folks, but so far they got 8 carries for a negative 14 yards. It's not going to get it done. Not going to get it done.
And Coach Pearson, conversely, he'll take that any day of the week, won't he?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
4:56 to go, first period. Tigers lead 14-0. It's a low snap. And the referee is saying the punter went down to one knee, and the Tigers will take over right there. As Blade Murdoch kind of put in a tough spot there.
Yeah, he went low to get it and just touched his knee down on the ground. Once you touch your knee down on the ground in high school football, you're considered down, no matter if nobody touched you or not. And Tigers, just as good as a turnover there, Norm picks it up on the Chargers' 27-yard line.
So the Tigers in the driver's seat once again. 4:45 to go, first quarter. Princeton's lead 14-0. Davis in the shotgun. And it's a pitch play. And a good job by Orion stringing that one out as Andrew Peacock on the carry, but still picks up close to 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 4 on that play. Peacock did a nice job hitting the hole. There's a nice lead block on the outside, just annihilated the kid. I didn't pick up the number. It looked like maybe Augie or even Brady Byers was out in front. But nonetheless, Peacock read it, got inside, gained a good 4 yards. But Orion did a nice job stopping him, but still gave him 4 yards.
Second down for the Tigers. All at the 24-yard line of Orion. Davis takes the snap, looks to throw. He's being chased. And Teagan's on the run. And Davis gets close to a first down on the far side of the field.
Davis on the carry.
Yeah, I think Teagan's doing a nice job, a better job of, taking what the defense gives him and getting out of dodge. He did a nice job there, gaining 5 yards. He doesn't have to take those unnecessary hits that
Third down and 1,
he kept taking last year, where he'd want to punish the defensive back instead of just getting out of bounds.
Third down and a yard for the Tigers. Pro set backfield. And this is going to be very close. Augie Christensen kind of signaled like, yeah, we got it.
Number 28, Preston Arkell's the ball carrier.
And he sure did.
Preston Arkell's on that carry. So good job.
First down,
First and 10
Princeton.
Princeton at the 17 of Orion. 14-0 Tigers, 3:38 to go, first period. Now Davis rolls to his right. Will he run or will he throw? He's going to keep it. And he gets inside the
Davis on the
15-yard
keeper.
line. Bring him second and about
Tackle made by
8.
number 22,
Sure
Maddox
didn't look like he was getting
Anderson.
any yardage there, but he didn't
Gain of a
get 2
couple
yards
on the play.
Again, senior quarterback being poised in the pocket, running outside the pocket, didn't see anything he liked and kept the ball
Second down
himself
and 8,
and not throwing
Tigers.
there and pass.
Davis once again in the shotgun. Quick pass, and this one's low, incomplete. It'll bring up third down.
Pass is incomplete.
Trying to throw it to the far side of the field.
Third down,
Yeah, throw
Tigers.
some zip on the ball. Looked like Teagan might have lost a handle on that ball, maybe. and it just came up short, bringing down a 3rd down and 8 situation for the Tigers, probably in 4-down territory unless they go for a field goal.
So we'll see what they dial up on 3rd and 8 at the Orion 20. 3 receivers wide to the left. Peacock in motion. The pitch goes to Peacock. And the Chargers do a real nice job of closing on that
Andrew
play, limiting
Peacock
it to no gain.
with the carry.
Yeah, Coach Pearson's livid with somebody
Anderson
down
on
there.
the tackle.
Somebody didn't make that proper block that he thought they
No
should have
gain in the
made.
play.
And nice job by the Chargers to force the Tigers for a field goal
Ball
try.
remains at the 15-yard line. 4th down.
You can bet
Princeton.
Carlos Benavidez very happy to have this opportunity. And the kick is on the way. Does it have enough distance? Referee says it does indeed.
Field goal by Benavidez is good.
Put it down for what, Schmitty?
I say a 37-yard field goal, right?
That's what I had.
Yeah.
At the 2:15 mark, Carlos Benavidez, 37-yard field goal.
Let's
You know,
go
that
ahead
could
and do
prove to be
tomorrow
very
night's
important
football
down the
games.
road, Norm, that he hits a 37-yard field goal, so coaches kind of know what his range is. That could come up huge in a close contest later on down the road.
Oh, absolutely. And, you said coaches know what their range is. Well, that one
Keep it straight, Cail.
just cleared the crossbar, but that's all you
Eyes
need.
on Morton and them got turned.
Let's go down to Brody Anderson for a list of tomorrow night's football games.
Alrighty, guys, let's run through some games for tomorrow night. Having this football game on Thursday has thrown me off all week. So I've been keeping it Friday, so let's talk about Friday's games. So Friday's games, we have LP at Metamora. We have EP at St. Bede. Monmouth Roseville at Hull. Sherrard at Bureau Valley. River Ridge at the Amboy Co-op. Sterling at St. Francis. Dixon against our old playoff rivals, North Boone. Stillman Valley against Rock Falls. Rock Ridge against Newman. And finally, Morrison against the Kewanee Boilermakers. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you, Brody. And Orion will take over at their 34-yard line. I want to mention at halftime we have a special guest, junior Sydney Mound, who's a member of the Palm Squad. Look forward to hearing from Sydney.
Doesn't Brody kind of look like Luke Canellis on the sidelines, Norm, the Bears broadcaster during preseason football games? Kind of reminds you of Lou a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Brody is a stalwart on Tiger Central Live. There's no doubt about it. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. 2:10 to go first period, and the Chargers down 17-0. Here's a throw, and this one is intercepted.
That's going to the house, Norm.
Picking that one off is Noah Laporte, and nobody's going to catch him. I know you're checking for flags. You don't see any, do you?
No, I think it's a 45-yard interception return for a touchdown. Nice job by Laporte. Well, there's something going down because I don't know what's going on. They're looking.
Well, we're waiting just like you are, folks, because we did not see any flags. Looks like the PAT team is coming on for Princeton. So Noah Laporte with the 45-yard interception return.
Yep, looks like it's good. Looked like the officials were meeting in the middle for some reason, and I don't know. They say, "Hey, let's go with it."
So once again, Carlos Benavidez.
Sideline interference is what they were talking about.
Okay, thank you, Schmitty. So the soccer-style kicker awaits the snap. The hold is good. And the kick is also good. And Princeton has expanded their lead to 24-0, still in the first period, with 1:59 to go.
Yeah, poor Cail Filler is having a rough go of it so far. After making his first nice completion for 13 yards, he has since went 0 for 5 with 2 interceptions. So young quarterback seeing some rough stretch of football right now. I'm sure he's athletic enough and a smart enough quarterback. He's going to bounce back. But right now, he's having a time right now, kind of like my son did at a golf meet today. Had a little time today.
You know, Schmitty, Noah Laporte, you talk about a young man with so much talent and potential in so many sports.
Yeah, absolutely. The kid does it all. He plays baseball, football. Had a great summer in basketball. So he's only a sophomore, folks, and you'll be hearing his name many nights in many different sports. That's for sure.
All right, so Carlos Benavidez set to kick off once again. This time he kicks it deep, and it's fielded by the Chargers inside their 5-yard line. Excellent kick, and a pretty good return for the Chargers as well.
Norm, I can't tell you that I'm surprised that the score is 24-0 this early in the game. Not surprised that it's 24-0. Just with a minute 54 to go in the first quarter is more of a shock to me than anything. But the Tigers have been clicking on all cylinders, came ready to play. Orion had about an hour drive here. That kind of stinks on a Thursday night. But the Tigers taking advantage of all aspects of the game right now, leading 24-0 with a minute 54 to go in this first quarter. And it looks like Orion's just reeling right now.
Yeah, they're just, probably at this point just looking to nail down a couple of first downs and create a little bit of momentum. Filler a late pitch. And this play has some potential, but coming in and closing quickly for Princeton. That's number 52.
Ian Morris, right?
Ian Morris it was.
Who ran that ball? I couldn't see the number on that one.
The carry. Tackle made by number 52, Ian Morris.
Second down and 5. This time the Chargers go up the middle. A little better gain this time as well. Kratzberg on that carry.
Burden there with the tackle. Nice job by that young man making a tackle there.
So 3rd and 1. A minute to go in the first quarter. Princeton up 24-0. Full house backfield for the Chargers. Tigers looking like they're going to bring some extra heat here. Filler taking some extra time. And the handoff goes right up the middle. They only needed a yard, so this is going to be close. Kratzberg gets the carry, and the referee has already indicated first down.
Say hockey there with the stop, but Orion picks up their 3rd first down of the game. 1 by pass, 1 by rush, and 1 by a penalty.
And that very well could be the last play of the quarter. Down to 14 seconds. No, looks like they're going to snap the ball. And maybe wish they didn't, as this play is going to go for a loss.
Yeah, Filler just basically faked the jet sweep to number 23. What was his name? Kratzberg, and faked the jet sweep, went the other way, and he lost about 3 yards in the play. Probably wish he would have gave it off. All Tigers this first quarter, 24-0 here. Norm, what a great start by this Princeton Tiger football team.
All right, we're going to go down to the sideline and get comments from Brody Anderson. (24-0) after one period of play. Princeton leading over the Orion Chargers. Some of the other games that are going to take place tomorrow night: Morrison 0-1 at Kewanee 0-1, Sherrard 0-1 at Bureau Valley 0-1. Riverdale, of course, they're not able to field a team. They were scheduled to be at Mendota, so that should be a forfeit win for the Trojans. Erie Prophetstown at St. Bede. Both those teams 1-0. That should be a great game. Monmouth Roseville 1-0 at Hall, 0-1. Rockridge 0-1 at Newman, 1-0, and we're ready to go. And it's Filler under heavy pressure, and that is Arthur Burden, the former Malden Musketeer, in on the sack.
I knew you were going to get that in at some point, Norm, but I'm telling you, the closing speed of this kid is just phenomenal. He has a nose for the football, and I tell you, this kid's going to be a special football player when his career is done at the Tigers. He's such a good instinctive football player at the linebacker position. Playing phenomenal football right now the first 2 games.
3rd down and 20. Filler's going to keep it himself, and he is met at the line of scrimmage.
Ian Morris.
By Ian Morris, yeah. So 4th down and long coming up for the Chargers. And you know the neat thing about Arthur Burden, Schmitty, and not just because he's a former Malden Musketeer, you won't find a better kid.
No, he's a great kid. You're right. He's a great kid. He's very coachable. You tell him to do something, he's going to do that adjustment to the best of his ability. That's the kind of kid you love to coach, and he's such a great kid. Never gets in trouble. Just a good kid.
Very polite, very helpful. Punting situation for the Chargers. And this is a good kick over the head of Noah Laporte. Heads towards the sideline. It's going to die at about the 22-yard line.
Nice job by Laporte, just letting it go once he realized it was over his head. No sense to pick it up and try to fumble it around. Just let it go. Let your offense do the work. This is the worst field position they've seen all game at the 22 of their own 22-yard line. But time to go to work and see what happens. Let those big guys up front do some work and tire them Chargers out a little bit.
Well, it certainly is a warm night tonight, and with all the football gear on, I'm sure it plays even warmer. 24-0, Princeton over Orion, 10:37 to go, second period. Teagan in the shotgun. He has good protection, looks to throw, fires deep, and just out of the reach of Augie Christensen. And Orion, they weren't surprised. They had 3 guys on him, Schmitty.
They had 3 guys on him, but Augie still had a step on him. But Teagan would have placed it over his left shoulder instead of his right shoulder. Might have had a chance to catch that ball, but Augie couldn't adjust in time. And looking over from his left to his right, it's hard to find that football. Just couldn't pick that up, but it was a well-thrown ball by Teagan. Well, a nice route by Augie.
Now 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. And Davis fires away. The pass is complete, but the Chargers, with an initial hit, now they get some help. And it's Brady Byers, who just didn't have much of a chance on that one.
No, he didn't. Byers takes about a 7-yard loss on that play. That screen pass, it takes a long time to develop. You got to stay on your blocks just a little bit longer than that. And unfortunately for the Tigers, they didn't.
So this is the first time we've really seen Princeton in this situation, as 3rd down and 17. Davis certainly has the capabilities to pick it up. And he's going to call his own number, and there he goes. He's got the first down and a whole lot more. In fact, it looks like Teagan's going to go all the way 84 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I like calling number 2's number, don't you, Norm?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it was a fake handoff, and it was up the middle for Teagan, blocked beautifully by the line, was not touched at all, cut to the outside, ran it up all Teagan all the time, 84 yards for the touchdown. Tigers are up 30-0 early in the second quarter. And
just to give our producer-director, Steve Morton, a heads up, after this extra point, we'll go to Brody Anderson, and he's going to talk about the big crowd tonight, as the extra point by Benavidez is good. Tigers up 31-0.
No good.
Oh, check that. It was wide. Thank you, Schmitty. Stays at 30-0. And now let's go to
the crowd. I mean, you can see all
Brody Anderson
out here. And it's just amazing how much team spirit we have being members of the Princeton Tigers family. Even though you're not here tonight and you're watching at home, I'm glad you're here with us, nevertheless. Anyway, back up to the booth.
So, Schmitty, the Tigers striking in about every way possible tonight.
Yeah, in all facets of the game. I mean, they came out striking a 35-yard pass to Christensen for a touchdown, and then C.J. Hickey with a 40-yard run, Noah Laporte with a 45-yard interception return, and then Tegan Davis, with a 84-yard touchdown run just to cap things off for the night for the Tigers, who up 30-0, smelling blood in the water, actually, Norm.
Oh, absolutely. And Carlos Benavidez, who earlier kicked a 37-yard field goal, is on to kick off. And he kicks it deep. Boy, he's got a good leg. This one is fielded at the goal line, and the return man for Orion slips and falls. And so the Chargers are going to have terrible field position for this drive.
Ball is marked at the 7-yard.
Yeah, when things are going bad, Norm, things are going bad, and Orion can't seem to catch a break at the 7-yard line on a kickoff. Things aren't going too well when that happens.
Does the mercy rule, Schmitty, does it go into effect in the second half if Princeton's up 40, or does it wait till the third quarter?
No, I think that's a good question. It might wait till the second half in the third quarter. You might be right.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough if Princeton can score a couple more times, and the Chargers elect to be conservative here. They pick up a couple. Second down and call it, well, I'm being generous. They're marking this one for no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Ian Morris there again with the stop. We're hearing number 52's name a lot. Hearing number 9's name a lot. Hearing Bennett Williams' name a lot. I mean, it's just crazy how many Tigers are around the football.
Now Filler calls his own number, and the Tigers basically form a cement wall. He's going absolutely nowhere.
And there's Bennett Williams right there with the tackle. And the loss of 2 for Filler. So the running game continues to struggle for the Orion Chargers, that's for sure.
3rd down and 11 from the 6 for Orion. They trail 30-0 with 8:35 to go, second period. Filler rolls out, completes the pass, but this is going to be well short of the first down.
Trying to get a good read on who it was completed to. Maybe the number 9, it looked like. Duncan Adamson, maybe.
Number 52, Ian Morris.
Ian Morris on yet another tackle. 4th and 6 for the Chargers. Well, they can ill afford to have the punter field the ball with one knee on the ground in this spot, as he's going to be standing back near his goal line. And the punt is away. It's a short punt. Noah Laporte takes the Sunday hop, and Noah's got a head of steam. Laporte still on his feet, and he gets inside the 25-yard line.
Again, a smart play by number 11, Noah Laporte, picking that ball up on the bounce, having a whole head of steam, like you said, Norm, and made a nice little cutback. Gained probably an extra 19, 20 yards there to put the Tigers in good field position once again on Orion's 25-yard line. The Tigers are capitalizing in all facets of the game right now. Special teams, offense, defense. I mean, you couldn't ask for a picture-perfect a quarter and a half of football, honestly.
And good discretion there by Noah Laporte. I think he was, ready to perhaps avoid fielding that ball, but when he saw that Sunday hop come up about waist high, it was off to the races. 1st and 10 at the 24 for the Tigers, already up 30-0. Davis is going to take off and run. Some elusive footwork, and it's going to wind up being about a 6-yard gain before he's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a busted play from the get-go. He wanted to either throw a quick out or a quick slant. Wasn't there, pulled it down, tucked it and ran, and gained 6 yards in the play. And Teagan's already up for 4 carries and 97 yards with that touchdown. So that's a good yardage per carry, Norm. I don't care what math class you're in, that's pretty good.
It is indeed. 2nd down and 4 at the Orion 18. Davis awaits the shotgun snap, and handoff goes to C.J. Hickey. And Hickey surging ahead has a 1st down and a whole lot more.
That's a touchdown.
He is in. He is in. The Chargers were able to make his forward progress stall inside the 5 momentarily, but Hickey able to get in for the touchdown.
That's his 2nd touchdown scamper of the game. First one for 40, 2nd one for 18. As you can see him in the instant replay just keeping his feet turning and not being denied for that end zone right there.
So Carlos Benavidez on for the PAT. This time it is good, and the Tiger lead is 37-0.
So Hickey caps it off with that 18-yard run set up by the Noah Laporte punt return, which had good field position. So 2 plays, 25 yards later, and the Tigers are capitalizing in the end zone again. Nice job by the Coach Pearson and the coaching staff getting these group of young men ready to play this week, that's for sure.
Did you happen to see the article in the BCR about the Bureau Valley football team and what they did after their game with Villa Park?
I did not.
They actually took a broom and a mop along with them, and they cleaned up the locker room after they were done. The custodian said had never seen anything like that in all the years. All they had to do was turn the lights out.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I witnessed a pretty neat thing in the Rock Ridge, after the Rock Ridge game, players and coaches forming a big circle, having a big circle prayer. That was kind of cool to see, honestly.
Tigers kick off once again, and the Chargers on the return, not finding a whole lot of opportunity. Triple team tackle at the 25-yard line. Evan Driscoll, among others, in on that stop.
Evan Driscoll on the tackle for Princeton.
I think the Tigers play like 8 or 9 sophomores, either on special teams or they actually play defense or offense. So it gets them ready to play varsity ball next year, and it gets them that much more experience. So Driscoll capitalizing on his. He's a junior, but capitalizing on special teams right there.
7:05 to go first half. Princeton up 37-0. And this time the Chargers do find some daylight. A good gain out near midfield on that carry was Cole Kratzberg.
Yeah, best carry of the night. He's got 37 yards on the ground. Picks up their 4th first down in the second quarter. Actually, 4th first down in the game. 1 in the second quarter.
So we'll see if the Chargers can expand on this recent momentum. Filler to throw over the middle. And wow, did he thread the needle on that one. It's good for a first down. Anthony Clark calling that one in. 1st and 10 Chargers. Kratzberg on the carry. Big yardage. We'll bring up 2nd down and short.
Right now the Chargers are rolling a little bit, and the Tigers defense don't know what's hitting them right now, but they got to adjust, make some quick adjustments right now as Chargers have made some adjustments to them.
2nd and short. Kratzberg once again, and not going to happen. Cade Odell in on the stop.
Yeah, Cade doing a nice job on that defensive line. I'm telling you what, the defense and offensive line for the Tigers are playing phenomenal ball right now.
Third down and 2 for the Chargers. Filler back to throw. He's under heavy pressure, gets rid of it. The pass is complete, and it's going to be good for a first down. And the receiver still on his feet. He may score. Wait for the signal. It is a touchdown. Touchdown, Orion Chargers from 35 yards out.
Did you make out that number who scored that?
I did not. Let's see if we can. Well, we've got the extra PAT coming up.
It looked like instant replay coming up. Let's see if we can catch that number, Norm.
23, Kratzberg, yes. Murdoch on for the PAT kick, and it is good. $37-7 in favor of Princeton, and you know, Schmidt, you got to give the Chargers a lot of credit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Coach Filler for the Orion Chargers did a nice job of mixing some play calls there, calling out a screen that the Tigers hadn't seen before, scored in that screen pass. No quitting the Chargers down 37-0, and they showed some spunk there, coming back with a touchdown there, 4:58 to go in the second quarter.
All right, Brody Anderson's ready to talk about halftime set lists.
Anyway, tonight for our halftime, we got two. We have the Mission Impossible theme as well as Cail Macaco, which is a palm stew. Look forward to that at halftime, led by Mr. Olson and the PHS band. Back to you in the booth.
And bang on the door. Like you said, hold on. I don't have that. I don't have anything.
All right, so Murdoch getting set to kick off.
I just got information from Tegan's brother Cail that Drake Davis to Wyatt Davis connection for a touchdown puts the Northern Michigan Wildcats up over the Kendry Bearcats 21-17. So the Davis to Davis connection's doing well up in Northern Michigan as well.
And their brother Tegan's faring pretty well here tonight too.
So the Davis boys in action in two different football fields and all doing well right now. Thanks, Cail, for that update.
So we'll see if the Tigers can answer that Orion score. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 47.
Remember that the Tigers offense kind of sputtered until Tegan ran off that 84-yard touchdown run the long series before that.
Davis takes the snap. He's under heavy pressure, completes the pass. And this is going to be good for about 3 yards, as hauling that one in is Brady Byers.
Tegan's third completion on the night. Brady's second catch on the night. This one for positive yardage.
2nd down and 7. The ball just into Orion territory. Tigers leading 37-7 with 4:15 to go in the half. This time the Tigers are going to keep it on the ground. That's Augie Christensen. Some nifty footwork by Christensen, still on his feet. Has a first down and a whole lot more, all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Nice 14-yard run by Augie. I'll always love how Augie runs. He runs so hard. He's shifty. He's fast. He's quick. He's got power too. I just like his running style.
Want to thank our student assistants tonight, Colby Clemens, Austin Gordon, helping out. And now screen pass to Brady Byers, and the Chargers do a good job of blowing this one up. Cail Piper's our other student assistant.
Yeah, I think the screen pass, they tried it a couple of different times. I think what's got to happen there, Norm, is you got to throw it. And when you throw it, the receiver's got to catch it going downhill. Right now we're catching it going laterally or behind us. We got to catch it going downhill so it can set up some blocks and get us going. Right now we got to get that fixed a little bit.
2nd down and 14. Teagan back to throw. Lets it fly, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Noah Laporte.
Wasn't necessarily a bad throw. It was more of a throw where Noah could catch it, and if he can't catch it, nobody else is going to catch it. So not a bad throw by Davis at all. A good route by Noah, and just couldn't come up with the play.
So 3rd down and 14 from the 39 of the Chargers.
See what the Tigers dial up on a 3rd and 14 play.
And fumble the ball momentarily. Davis gets it back, but the Chargers not going to allow anything on that play, as that bobble proved costly.
Yeah, it looked like something wasn't in sync there. Whether the Augie and Teagan weren't on the same page or something happened. It didn't look like it looked like something was going on there that didn't really coincide with each other, that's for sure.
Lane Johnson in there on the tackle for the Chargers. 4th and 16. At times, it's just Teagan Davis on the keeper on these sorts of plays.
He's got one-on-one on this far side of the sidelines. Let's see what happens.
Davis, he loads up. He fires away towards the end zone, and it is broken up. Intended for Danny Saihaki.
Looked like the pass was almost a little bit underthrown there. Saihaki had to pull back just a little bit. The defender was there. They take over on downs. Nice job by the Chargers. No pass interference called there. 2:13 to go, and the Chargers are looking to bounce back and score back-to-back touchdowns here, Norm.
Yeah, they had the touchdown and now a defensive stop when Princeton had good field position. So things definitely taking a turn for the better for Orion. This is Kratzberg. Boy, he's fast, and he's got a 1st down.
Looks like they found a little something on the outside there, and Kratzberg, he's been the workhorse so far for these Orion Chargers. He gains another 1st down there. I don't have the updated totals right now, but
Chargers.
That's his 13th carry for 55 yards.
Chargers are in Tiger territory. That incomplete pass is Teagan Davis on the coverage.
Sorry about that, Norm.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. 1:50 to go first half. 37-7 is the Tiger lead.
Ball remains at the 48-yard line.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Filler back to throw. It's a screen. It's caught, but it's maybe going to net the Chargers a yard.
Pass is complete to number 28, Anthony Clark.
Anthony Clark on the reception. 3rd down and 9 from the 47 of Princeton.
I like the screen. I mean, there was a fake screen to the far side where the Tigers were at, and a little bubble screen inside. It just didn't pan out well.
Tigers are bringing an extra rusher. The pass is on the way. It's overthrown. That'll bring up 4th down and 9.
Yeah, Filler's lucky that didn't get picked off. Norm, he didn't throw it when he wanted. He had heat coming in from Saihaki, I think it looked like. Good pressure by him. He just overthrew his receiver, and usually when you overthrow a receiver, it's not good for you. But he got lucky there with the incomplete pass, that's for sure.
Chargers look like momentarily that they were considering going for it. Tigers better be alert for a fake here. Fourth down and 9. The snap is a good one. And it's an excellent kick. Fair catch being called for and ultimately being made. Is that Noah Laporte down there, Schmitty?
Yeah, it was. Fair catch at the 10-yard line. Minute 8 to go at their own 10-yard line. Does Coach Pearson think about anything here, or is he going to be conservative? Go up by 37-7. I think he's going to go for a home run. Just a gut instinct here.
And bear in mind, too, the Tigers have all 3 timeouts, so.
Good time to work your 2-minute offense in, yeah?
Oh, for sure. As we noted, the Chargers, much to their credit, though, they have played a lot better here in the second part of the second period. Davis is going to call his own number, and if he can get to the outside, look out. Davis still on his feet, is knocked out of bounds. That should stop the clock with 59 seconds to go on a first down for Princeton.
He's running out of bounds at about the 34-yard
We'll give him 24 yards on that carry as he scampers. Just so shifty. I mean, that's the word I can use, shifty, right?
Oh, very accurate. First and 10 at the Tiger 35. Again, 3 timeouts. Davis back to throw. Good job by the offensive line keeping that rush away from Teagan, and a beautiful catch. Hauling that one in is Brady Byers. Clock is running. Will the Tigers use a timeout?
Teagan's got to do a better job getting that ball up so Brady can go out of bounds with that.
We're going to dip close to 30 seconds by the time this ball is snapped. This is Peacock on the run, but it doesn't matter. There's a flag, and this is going to come back.
Yeah, I think there is too many men in motion, so legal motion. When you have 2 or more guys in motion, that's going to be a flag every time. I don't think somebody got set in the backfield. Therefore, the flag is thrown, and I think they'll take them back on this, knowing that the clock is on their side.
So exactly as you said, Schmitty, penalty going to be marked off against the Tigers.
We gotta ask Brody Anderson who sponsored his wardrobe tonight. I mean, he's looking sharp. I like the jacket, the tie. He's got everything going on working.
I still wear a tie.
He reminds me he wears a tie every day at school. Well, some people don't have that kind of a job, so I don't have to wear a tie every day. But Spencer, you look very nice.
Second down and 9, and Teagan Davis is going to be dragged down with about 22 seconds to go in the half. I think we're going to have a timeout, Schmitty, but the question is, who's going to call it?
I think Princeton called a timeout there, Norm. It was on the sidelines. The referee at the 4-hour sidelines was calling that timeout, so I think that's...
Princeton.
Yep, Princeton used their first timeout. You got time to thank our sponsors real quick, Norm?
Oh, absolutely, and they include Midland Bank, Micklig Energy, Princeton Ready Creek, Bex, and Central Bank, and also a big thanks to the Princeton Public Schools Foundation, and certainly to our crew, Steve Morton, Brody Anderson, Steve Gray, and our student helpers this evening, Cail Piper, Austin Gordon, and Colby Clemens. They've done a masterful job. Just 22 seconds to go in the first half. Princeton's lead 37-7.
Who's your halftime entertainment guest tonight, Norm?
We're going to hear from Sydney Mount, a remarkable young lady.
After that timeout, the ball is on the 34-yard line. We're going to 11.
like the third quarter we go and get some after the game's going.
See what Coach Pearson draws up here on the Tigers' 34-yard line, leading 37-7, 22.3 seconds to go in this second quarter.
And the Tigers getting some big yardage on this play, going out of bounds and gaining the first down is Ace Christensen with 12 seconds left.
There's a little flip reverse play, and he gained 19 yards on the play in the first down. So Ace getting in the action as well. Good call, getting out of bounds. 12.4 seconds to go in the contest. Orion's going to call a timeout now. Try to set up an umbrella defense of sorts. I think 12.4 seconds. Maybe try to get something about 10, 15 yards down the field, Norm. Or, I don't know, it's risky. You could try to get it to about the 20-yard line and try to get down. If you're going to get tackled, call quick timeout and set up a field goal. I mean, you got multiple options here if you're Coach Pearson.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, we've seen that Carlos Benavidez is capable in the field goal department as well. Tigers will have to be mindful of the amount of time left, just 12 seconds. So if they're tackled inbounds, they need to call that timeout immediately.
After when it is halftime, I'm going to let you run and I'm going to sit for a little bit.
The Hall Red Devils will be here next Friday night.
Big rivalry game. Huge.
One thing about it, Schmitty, we only have 4 home games this year, but our last 2 games are on the road. So we're going to have Tiger Central Live games 4 of the next 6 weeks. And also, we're very happy that WAJK 99.3, they're carrying every game. 99.3 FM, they have a strong signal. If you forget 99.3, just remember 100. And kind of spin that dial a little bit, you'll come across it. All right, here we go. 12 seconds left. Davis back to throw. Fires long, and he's got a man open, and it is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, hauling that one in.
Danny Sayhaki.
Danny Sayhaki, 48 yards on the touchdown strike.
How does Sayhaki get that wide open? Watch this replay as Teagan just uncorks it down and Sayhaki's wide open. Puts it right on the numbers. Couldn't ask for a better throw. Great route by Danny. And the Tigers are up 43-7, pending an extra point.
And boy, it was like a Christmas present right in his arms. Benavidez for the PAT. This one no good, but it doesn't take away from the great play of the Tigers, who lead 43-7.
Well, you ask yourself, Norm, what's Coach Pearson going to dial up? Well, he's going to dial up a seam route for Danny Sayhaki up the middle, and we're going to let Teagan uncork it for 48 yards for a touchdown. That's what we're going to dial up. I love it. Norm, last year, remember the story you talked about you said you believe they were brothers. I'm not going to mention your names, but you believe they were brothers kicking a ball outside of a fair or something like that, and they stole a ball or something like that. What was the story?
Well, it was at the Bureau County Fair. There was a contest to throw a football through a tire, and these boys were sick and tired of being ripped off. So the one brother, instead of just throwing the ball at the tire, completely overshot the tent to his brother, who was standing out on Route 6, and away he went.
Well, I saw one of the brothers the other day at a gas station. He said, "You know that story?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "That was me." And me and him chuckled for a while, so that was good stuff that he related to what you were saying.
Just 3 seconds to go in the half. We'll see what the Chargers dial up. I want to say a special hello to a great Tiger fan, longtime Princeton Softball League Commissioner Dave Piper, who is a frequent watcher on Tiger Central Live.
I know Dave. Dave's a great guy. I've watched him play many, many slow-pitch softball games back in the day.
agonizing a little bit, I'm sure, with the plight of the Chicago White Sox. Expected more.
Probably not very happy with that.
Orion takes a knee, and that's going to bring us to our halftime score of 43-7. Well, very shortly, we should have the Palms on for their routine. Also later on, coming up at halftime, Schmidt will inform us of some halftime stats. And if we can get any out-of-town scores, which there aren't many in the area tonight. But if we can come across a couple, we'll let you know, as Bushnell is playing at Ridgewood and Peoria Heights at Galva.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the field your Princeton High School Marching Tigers. Tonight, they are led onto the field by drum majors Sadie Thornton and Jacob Knickerbocker. Before we begin, the band would like to say good luck to our students who are currently representing Princeton High School on the soccer team at Alleman. For our first show this year, the band would like to present a classic movie and TV theme song originally written by composer Lalo Schifrin for a 1966 TV series. This theme caught even more ears when it was used in the 1996 thriller starring Tom Cruise. This is Mission Impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Bryant Field the Princeton High School Pom Squad under the direction of Ms. Abby Cochran and co-captains Lexi Boslog and Sadie Thornton. Tonight the girls will perform a routine that has been choreographed by Lexi Boslog, Abby Brown, Morgan Foes, Ellie Welty, and Chloe Miller. Our opening routine is set to a song that we bet you don't know by the funk rock band Snarky Puppy. It's an aggressive Latin-inspired number that we think you'll enjoy.
Bringing you your scoring runs from this quarter. So, from the first quarter, we had Davis pass the Christiansens for 32 yards, and Benavidez had a kick for bringing the score to 7-0. After that, we had C.J. Hickey made a 40-yard run, and Benavidez kicked it again, making it 14-0. After that, speaking of Mr. Benavidez ended up with a 37-yard field goal, making it 17-0. Noah Laporte, towards the end of the first, made a 45-yard interception return, making it 24-0. After that, moving on to the second, you had Tegan Davis made a whopping 84-yard run, but the kick failed, making it 30-0. C.J. Hickey again made a 14-yard run, and Benavidez kicked it, making it 37-0. And then Orion finally got on the field, making it 37-7, with Filler having a 35-yard kick, or a run rather. And then lastly, a 48-yard pass from Davis to Mr. Saihaki, and a kick no good, making it 43-7. Additionally, it's time for your halftime interview. Tonight, I'm sitting with Miss Sydney Mel. How are you, Sydney?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I can't complain. Beautiful night out, isn't it?
Yes, it really is.
So, thoughts on the game first?
I think it's going pretty well.
Well, I'd say it's 43-7. I reckon. I would reckon, right? Are you having fun out there with the cheer section?
Yeah.
Good. So, tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm a junior at Princeton. I'm on the POMS team. I do year one mentor and Spanish club. And yeah, that's about it.
So, I always ask everyone, whenever I sit down for an interview, I almost have to ask this for students, right? And this is not a judgment on anyone or any teacher, but, and you don't have to say it's me, but what is your favorite class?
Oh, well, Mr. Anderson's American history is phenomenal.
Oh, thanks. But now tell us the real answer. Yeah.
I'm really loving dual credit biology with Coach Fred.
Oh, excellent. What are you learning in there?
Right now we just did a pill bug lab. So we're
what?
A pill bug, like roly-polies.
Oh, roly-polies. Why
Yeah.
don't you say roly-poly instead of a pill bug?
That's
Who
not
knows
a
what a pill
scientific
bug?
term.
I know.
Got that drilled into our minds.
So is Coach Fred's then your favorite teacher as well?
Yeah, he might be. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about that. Hey, don't worry about that, right? Be honest. What other classes that you're taking right now that you really enjoy?
Well, advanced college prep with Miss Simpson. That's always so much fun. English class. Math with Miss Grove is good.
Oh, she's a wonderful, wonderful teacher.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I'm in parenting with Mama Freds.
Wonderful, wonderful person
Yep.
as well.
Personal fitness with Miss Sailor. And oh my gosh, I can't think of any other classes that I'm in.
Other than American history, Mr.
Well,
Anderson.
yes.
Yeah.
Obviously number one.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so here's something that I always ask.
Okay.
Who in your life was a positive influence on you? It can be a friend, it can be a teacher, it can be a family member, it could be anyone.
I'd maybe say my mom.
How so?
Just because she's always just so, like, happy-go-lucky and carefree. She doesn't care what people think about her and things like that. And it's just such, like, a positive role model in my life, I guess. And, like, I just love when people say I'm like her, things like that, you know. So,
Very cool. So you're a junior now.
yes.
Right? Time flies by, and
It really
you know,
does.
I remember my mother used to say that to me, that time's gonna fly by when you're in high school, and you know, we
Yeah.
all just kind of shake it off, and
Yeah.
sure enough, it does.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and tell freshman you one piece of advice, what would it be?
It'd probably be to not care what people think about myself, you know, and to just quit worrying about what others think and just live life to the fullest, because you don't know how long you're going to be here for, you know?
Oh, exactly. Okay, let me ask you this. Like I said, I know you're a junior, and you still have a little bit of time with us going in the opposite way on the time scale. What's your plans post PHS? College?
Yeah, I'm thinking going to college, and that's another class I forgot, psychology with Coach Gahn.
Oh, that's a great class.
Yes. I'm really
You know, I
liking that.
filled in for that for a semester at one point.
But yeah, I'm really liking that, so I'm thinking that might be what I go into.
Psychology?
Yeah.
In what regards? Psychologist, psychiatrist,
Yeah, probably psychologist.
doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And that's what you want to do for a career then?
I think so. The medical field's always like interested me, but after like learning and being in that class for however many weeks now, I'm really liking it and like the brain and things like that.
See, that goes hand in hand with that biology class, though,
Yep.
that you and Coach Fred's are in. So, before you came up here, me and Norm were sitting here talking while the halftime show was going on, and he was telling me that you work after school
I do.
at Malden. Tell me
Yeah.
about that a little bit.
So I'm the assistant, I guess, at the after-school program. So I pretty much just work with the like younger kids, like the 1st through 4th graders, and I help them with their math and English and spelling, things like that. Yeah, a couple hours after school every day, and
How many kids roughly do you see every day?
I see about maybe 10.
About 10?
10, yeah.
About 10. And it's all different, K through 4, all different subjects, too?
Yeah.
So what's the subject that you do the best in for them?
Maybe their math so far. Not gotten too difficult.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, you know, once you start getting X's and Y's and
Yeah,
this stuff, then things get
absolutely
really
not.
complicated, and then we don't know heads nor tails. You know, Norm brought this up to me earlier, and I want you to read what's hanging outside of the wall, outside the door, of your after-school program?
Oh. In this room, everyone is welcome, important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, equal.
And I think that does a great job summarizing the after-school program,
Yep.
all the hard work you do for those young Malden Musketeers.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Sydney. Well, hey, thanks for coming up
you.
here. We really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of the game.
Me
and
too.
a great, I keep thinking it's the weekend, right? I almost
Yeah, I know,
said
this
have a
Thursday
great
game.
weekend, and this has thrown me off.
I know.
I mean, maybe I should just cancel class tomorrow.
Yeah, and the test you're given.
Yes.
You should cancel
yeah,
that.
Yeah, remember, study for it. Isn't that bad. Isn't that bad? It's just over Native Americans.
That's all.
And the Spanish. So,
yeah,
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Everyone's going to do great. You're going to do just fine. I promise you.
pressure.
Right? There's extra credit on it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Look on the bright side.
But hey, I appreciate you joining Tiger Central Live today.
Thank you.
So, have a good night.
You too.
So here's some halftime stats here for the Orion Chargers, who are down 43-7 to your Princeton Tigers. Number 2, Cail Filler. Thanks, Bryson, who brings me a nice Diet Coke and doesn't leave me a whole lot of change. Went 4 for 13 for 65 yards, and he had, 5 for 13 for 65 yards. 2 interceptions on the day. So he's doing better, but really was struggling there early on, Norm. Number 23, who is the Kratzberg kid, who's got a touchdown run. I believe he's got a 35-yard touchdown run, yes. Has about 13, 14 carries for 35 yards. Leading the way for the Tigers is Tegan Davis with 84 yards passing. He also has 116 yards rushing. Also, C.J. Hickey with 68 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And leading receiver would be Augie Christensen with 32 yards as well and a touchdown. Scoring drives are as follows. In the first quarter, 9:36 to go, it was Tegan Davis to Augie Christensen for a 32-yard touchdown run. Kicked by Benavidez was good, leading 7-0. 7:33 in the first quarter. C.J. Hickey with a 40-yard run with a kick by Benavidez was good. 14-0 Tigers. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Benavidez kicks a 37-yard field goal to put the Tigers up 17-0. And then Noah Laporte with a minute 59 to go in that first quarter returns the ball 45 yards for an interception. The kick was good. 24-0 Tigers. Tegan Davis starts out in the second quarter. 9:36 to go. 84-yard scamper with a kick no good. Tigers up 30-0. 7:12 to go. It was a Hickey with an 18-yard run, but the Benavidez kick was good. 37-0. 4:58 to go in the second quarter. It was a filler to Kratzberg. Orion getting on the board for a 35-yard touchdown pass. The kick was good. 37-7 Tigers. And then with 5.1 seconds to go in the half, Davis to Sayhaki, 48-yard pass to bring your score up to 43-7.
All right, and here is the opening kickoff of the second half. And oh my goodness, is that a horse collar or that was a lariat like the legendary wrestler Stan Hansen, but no penalty on the
Stan
play.
Hansen. I did not think we were going to have a Stan Hansen reference coming out here in the football game tonight. I did not think that happened, but I'm glad to know you have some wrestling knowledge. We can talk about that later. But that was Casey Etheridge on the kickoff return, and he got clotheslined or a lariat shot, like you said, by Stan Hansen of the Chargers, even though that's not really his name.
1st and 10 for Princeton. They have it at their own 34.
I don't know if I'm more impressed with you knowing Stan Hansen or you knowing that what's called a lariat move. I like it, Norm.
I actually saw Stan Hansen at a Clinton Lumber Kings game. His son, Skeeter Hansen, was playing, and he was there watching. As C.J. Hickey on the carry. And Hickey with good yardage. He's got a first down and more out to midfield. And Brody, if we could get you to give us that score update.
Yeah, Norm. So we do have a score update at halftime. So we have Bushnell 7 and Cambridge Ridgewood at 52, and that is a halftime score. Back to you, Norm.
52-7. Wow, Norm, that's a lot of points in the first half.
Ridgewood, they just seem to do really well in sports, don't they?
Yeah.
Tigers run it right up the middle. This is Augie Christensen. And Augie's going to pick up about 5 as he advances the ball to the 45.
So C.J. Hickey knocking on the door of 100 yards in this game. He's got 6 carries for 83 yards with 2 touchdowns. Be nice to see a couple of guys getting over 100 yards. It's kind of a nice thing for the offensive lineman, getting your two running backs or 2 backs over 100 yards.
They are a great 1-2 punch. Now Davis goes under center. Are the Tigers going to stay committed to that run game? They are. It's Hickey. He's got a first down and more, still on his feet, spinning, and gets down to about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, we'll give him another 12 yards on that run, brings him up to 95 yards with another first down, and the Tigers keep moving the sticks as the instant replay shows him bouncing the play out to the outside, seeing there's nothing inside, so let's bounce outside, and gains a good gain of line there as the offensive line doing a nice job firing off the ball here early in the second half.
What do you think Coach Pearson said at halftime? Let's get down and pound the rock here?
Yeah, I think he wants an opening touchdown to get that clock running is what he wants.
And the Tigers are going to stick with it on the ground. That's Hickey. Notice the way he knocks tacklers backwards, and a good gain on first down.
We'll give him 6 yards on that carry. That'll bring him over the century mark at 101 yards. And that's just a simple play there as he pitches the ball to the outside. This time there's a direct pitch to him, and he just cut it off tackle and gains a good significant yardage to bring down a second down and 4, second down and 5 situation for the Tigers.
Tigers yet to put the ball in the air on this opening drive here in the third quarter. And that's still going to hold true. That's C.J. Hickey once again breaks away from about 2 or 3 tacklers and negotiates his way to another first down.
I tell you what, C.J. Hickey is a load to bring down right now. As you can see him breaking through tackles left and right, even taking 2, 3, 4 defenders to haul him down. Great job by that young man as he keeps his legs turning every time he touches the ball. That's how he had that 18-yard scamper in the first half, Norm. We thought he was down at the 10-yard line. He kept going and ended up making a touchdown run. So the kid is hard to bring down as C.J. Hickey, number 5 for the Tigers.
Great job by our camera crew as well. Tigers still committed to the run. And they're going to get some positive yardage.
Tell you what, all of our running backs are hard to bring down. They could hardly bring him down on that one as Augie is keeping his legs turning as well.
Augie picks up 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. Of course, Augie has that background in wrestling, and I think that's most beneficial, don't you?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the football players are really good wrestlers. I hate to say that, Norm, because I'm a basketball coach and they happen at the same time, but it is true.
They learn that balance and leverage. Now it's C.J. Hickey, and good blocking up front, and Hickey getting down very close to the goal line.
Yeah, we'll give him another 13 yards on that carry and a first down. But I tell you what, the offensive line there did a nice job We had a pull from Payne Miller, number 75 for the Tigers, and also number 65, Kate Odell, the left guard. So the left guard, left tackle, both pulled from the left to the right to create that seam for C.J. Hickey to just bust loose.
Clock moving close to 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Davis goes under center. And once again, the Tigers keep it on the ground, and the Chargers able to respond this time.
It's a touchdown, Norm.
Actually,
Augie
Augie got in. I take it back. So Augie Christensen on a 3-yard run, and that will bring about the running clock situation at the 7:53 mark of the third period.
So just what the Tigers needed there is they came away with an opening drive for a touchdown. Right now we have an Orion Charger hurt, and we hope that young man is okay as well. We don't want anybody getting hurt ever. But Augie, tough to bring down. That's the one thing about our running backs, if you notice, Norm, is they're such a load to bring down. It takes more than one defender to normally to bring them down by themselves, that's for sure.
Schmitty, we mentioned that Byron, a defending state champion, was beaten in week number 1.
Against Stillman Valley, yes. I think it was 15-7 if I remember the score right, Norm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Other state champions in their opening games, Lena Winslow beat Lanark Eastland 60-6, Wilmington over Marengo 32-26. We mentioned Stillman Valley over Byron 15-7. Joliet Catholic beat Waterford, Wisconsin, as we're relieved to see the Orion player on his feet. That was 49-14. Waterford, Wisconsin, near Racine. Oak Park Fenwick beat Oak Park River Forest. They lost 35-7, so there's another champion that lost. Cary Grove champions beat Carpentersville 41-21. Wheat North over Downers Grove 28-7. And Lockport beat Joliet at West 28-6. So all in all, last year's champions were 6-2 on opening night. Carlos Benavidez on for the PAT. Will it be 50 points for the Tigers? Yes, it will. And Princeton's lead is 50-7 with 7:53 to go in the third period.
I can't tell you how beneficial it is to have a kicker on your team. You know, you see scores all the time, especially in the postseason. Sometimes teams win 10-7. You know, that's a field goal for your field goal kicker there. It's just very important to know you have that weapon. So if you are running a 2-minute offense and you are tied up or you're down by 2 points or 3, whatever have you, I mean, you can always go to that kicker and get to a certain yardage point. You know, that's your goal. If we're at the 20 and we got to get to the 20, you know that you don't have to get to the end zone. Right? I mean, it's just a very advantageous part of the game that goes, I think, unnoticed in a lot of ways.
Yeah, people sometimes make fun of kickers, and it's like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like making fun of a good free throw shooter in a basketball game. They are very valuable, and of course the Tigers, blessed for so many years to have Jamie Reinhart kicking for 4 years.
Yep.
And Benavidez doing a good job of keeping that good run of kicking going. A deep kick, and the Chargers field it inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the return. Good coverage by Princeton. And the Chargers managed to eke it out to about the 24-yard line.
There with that shoestring tackle looked like number 66, Jay Stuckey. So great job by that sophomore right there and making some special teams play.
Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Where the Chargers will start first and 10.
And it is a running clock, folks, so Tigers up 50-7. Anytime you get up by 40 or more, I believe in the second half, we'll have to check that rule out, but I believe it's in the second half you get a running clock, so which is a good thing.
I'm thinking that way as well, Schmitty. Now in basketball, it has to get to the third quarter, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. So the Chargers keep it on the ground, and we won't be able to tell from this play because the clock would keep running anyway. They eke out about a 3-yard gain. Schmidt, if you wouldn't mind, here's the Tiger schedule. If you want to inform folks as time allows.
Sure, Norm, I'll do that. Looks like next week we host Hall at home on a Friday night. As you see, a nice little gain by Orion there, number 5.
Drake Gunn on that carry.
Trying to do a couple things at once. Bear with me just a minute. So week 4 we're at Mendota. The Tigers are at Mendota. Week 5 we host Kewanee.
A completed pass by the Chargers. Good for a first down. Tiger coach is not necessarily happy that Filler was able to complete that pass.
No, I think there's going to be a lot of coaching up here. Week 6 we go visit the Sterling Newman Comets. Week 7 we host the St. Bede Bruins. And week 8 we are at Bureau Valley.
And Filler, all of a sudden with a hot hand, completes that pass to Duncan Adamson. Good for about 4 yards.
That's his second catch for 8 yards. And then we finish out the season at Monmouth Roseville on October 21st. All Friday nights from here on out, it looks like, but that's always subject to change.
Yeah, with the shortage of officials. Now the Chargers keep it on the ground, and the Tigers able to get in for a tackle for loss.
Number 34, Daniel Sousa, and number 36, Common Green there with the tackle. So a junior and a freshman bringing them down. That would be number 5 for the Chargers, Drake Gunn again.
You know, as you read that schedule, what jumps out at me, week 6 and week 7 at Newman and hosting St. Bede. Those are 2 tough teams this year. 3rd down and 8, and whistle blows. Penalty flag thrown. Delay a game, perhaps?
I think it might have been a false start.
Okay.
That is actually the first penalty on the Orion Chargers.
Yeah, that's been interesting, Schmitty. You know, opening night, a lot of times you think there will be a lot of penalties, but it's been pretty clean tonight.
Yeah, 3 total penalties all this game so far, so hats off to both clubs that way.
Third down and 13 as Filler checks the wristband. Tigers are bringing a blitz. Filler gets rid of it down the middle and a perfect throw, and this may go for a score. It will. Wow. 54 yards on the score. Murdoch hauling that one in with 3:44 to go in the third. Filler to Murdoch, 54 yards.
As the replay shows you, just a seam route by Murdoch, and Filler does a nice job hitting him. And the shoestring tackle was for naught as Murdoch just scampered in for that 54-yard touchdown.
And Murdoch on for the PAT. And that kick is good. And it makes the score 50-14 in favor of Princeton. One thing about it, though, once you get into that running clock situation, it will stay in effect.
Yeah, absolutely, Norm. That's to protect both sides for, really protect the team that's leading, which is the Princeton Tigers, and also the Chargers as well.
So the Tigers at home next week against the Hall Red Devils. And, of course, a little bit of change, Schmitty, for the Hall Red Devils is they're going to have a pool to draw some extra players.
Yeah, I think they're do the Putnam County come over?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And Coach Tebin is back. You know, the Red Devils last year, I believe, only won 1 game. But you know what? Coach Greeny, he did an excellent job. I mean, they were a lot of times going with only 14 or 15 guys, and You know, when you're playing offense, defense, special teams, you're outsized, you're worn down. Those kids played hard. They played 4 games to within 10 points. And, of course, I've said it many times, what Coach Tiemann doesn't know about football isn't worth knowing. So
yeah,
it'll be good to have him back involved as well. So Murdoch set to kick off. He's done an excellent job with the kicking duties for the Chargers. Squib kick. Tigers have some trouble getting it, but they ultimately do, and getting slammed to the turf is Brady Byers.
Yeah, I thought for sure when that ball was loose we were just going to pounce on it, but Brady came up with it and tried to run with it and didn't get any yards, but man, I respect the heck out of that young man for getting him a try.
And also for being able to hang on to the ball. I was worried about a potential fumble there.
Yeah, he held on to it like a loaf of bread, didn't he, Norm?
He did indeed. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 35.
Looks like we got the backup quarterback in right now, maybe the sophomore, number 14, William Locke.
All right, good catch there, Schmitty. And nothing fancy. Tigers going to keep it on the ground. Casey Etheridge on the carry.
It gives these kids some experience here at the varsity level, and that's always good. You know, they get any kind of experience up at this level because the game is always faster, quicker, and it's a lot stronger athletes up at the level than the level you're used to playing down the Fresh South level.
And we certainly hope not, but you never know when there's an injury or something. You know, it might be your turn to step in, and it's nice to have that experience in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
And once again, the handoff goes to Casey Etheridge. This time it's going to go for a slight loss. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Of course, with the clock winding down, it's already a minute 50 and counting going in this contest, or in the 3rd quarter, I should say. Your Tigers up 50-14.
Well, the one thing we're all going to have to make a little adjustment, Schmitty, with the Thursday night game. Guess what? No sleeping in tomorrow. Back to work, back to school.
Rise and shine to work.
So what will the Tigers dial up on 3rd and 11? And it's a counter play, and this works out extremely well. This is good for a 1st down, as once again, it's Casey Etheridge on the carry.
Nice job by that old line, blocking up front, and Casey Etheridge can really run the ball as he saw a seam and drug a defender for about 6 yards there on your instant replay, brought to you by Steve Morton and Company.
Yeah, and great call by you. Perfectly described there, Schmitty. We're under a minute to go, 3rd quarter, as Tigers check the sideline for the next play. Tigers right at midfield. Tigers sticking with that running game, and look at this. This is Casey Etheridge. Big yardage. Etheridge down near the 10-yard line before he's brought down. Right around a 40-yard scamper that time for Casey Etheridge.
Exactly 40-yard scamperage there. Nice job by Casey right there, as you're going to see an instant replay here coming up. And he's just outrunning a host of Chargers there. Nice job by that young man.
You know what? I may have got the number wrong there. Was that Common Green on that carry?
Common Green. Nice. He's another freshman.
You guys called that game here a year ago.
Yeah, we called a game up here a year ago with the 8th grade. We were in the championship. Remember Casey Etheridge, Common Green?
Oh, yes.
Gavin Lanham and those guys? Yeah, that was, I mean, it wasn't the outcome they wanted for sure, but, man, you could tell that there was some talent in that class, that's for sure.
So just to make clear, that was Common Green with that 40-yard run. I want to give him credit well deserved. And Schmitty, we want to thank our sponsors of Tiger Football, on Tiger Central Live.
Absolutely, Norm. We'll start out with Midland Bank, Nicklig Energy, Princeton Ready Creek, Bex, and Central Bank, and also a big thank you to the Princeton Public Schools Foundation. None of this would be possible without you guys, and we appreciate you jumping on board all year long with us, hopefully even into the postseason.
Oh, absolutely. And wherever you may be across this great land of ours, I'm guessing with our game pretty much being the only game around, that we probably have people from Hall and Bureau Valley. Of course, we always have a lot of our Princeton alumni that tune in, as well as our friends from Orion, wherever you may be. Glad to have you along. And Schmitty, over the course of time on Tiger Central Live, we've even had people on an international basis tuning in.
People texting left and right. I got a little buddy at home, Liam, listening to us, so we appreciate you listening, Liam. Shout out to you. A bunch of alumni out there listening to us and watching us, and it's always a great pleasure for them to chime in and letting us hear whoever they're out, wherever they're out there, overseas, across the states. It's just fun to broadcast for everybody.
An illegal procedure call against the Tigers will back them up 5.
And you'll have that with a group of kids that aren't used to really playing in this level, and for that to be the first one is pretty good, actually.
1st and 15 for the Tigers. Man in motion, and Mott gonna take it himself. I don't know if that was the design or not, but we've got another penalty flag.
Yeah, it's illegal motion on the Tigers. We had 2 guys moving at the same time again. Can't happen. It's a 5-yard penalty.
And Brody's got an update on the volleyball score, so I'm going to let him share that.
Thank you, Norm, and shout out to Coach Andy Puck for sending me these volleyball scores. I know he's had a really busy and exciting night over at Hall. So his freshman team won both games 25-14 and 25-9. His sophomore team won both games 25-16 and 25-18. And for varsity, we won both games 25-20 and 25-16. It's been a big night for Princeton volleyball down at Hall. Back to you, Norm.
Great job by Coach Puck and the coaching staff of those Tigresses, and great job by those ladies getting the trifecta win tonight. So that's always exciting against the arch rival, the Hall Red Devils.
Yeah, and winning all those games in 2 consecutive games, 2 sets as it may be. So, yeah, most impressive indeed.
Coach Puck coaches volleyball, drives the bus for the basketball boys sometimes. I love the guy. Nice job. I'm always happy when he has success.
And we have a PHS teacher, Abby Bosnick, that coaches St. Bede volleyball and does a great job. Now the Tigers keep it on the ground. That's Casey Etheridge just hammering away. And I'll tell you what, Schmitty, these backup running backs have acquitted themselves exceptionally well.
Well, the one thing they all have in common is they run hard and they are hard to pull down. And we're going to go for a field goal right now, try to work on our special teams units. And why not? This is a good time to work on it. So being at the 8, 7, 15, 25-yard attempt right here, Norm.
And it is Carlos Benavidez. He's already hit from 37. The holder is William Lott. It's a good snap, and the kick is on the way. Look at that, right down the middle. And Benavidez, once again, with his 2nd field goal of the night. Carlos Benavidez with 9:02 to go. There, you saw the replay.
Yeah, the snap was good, the hold was good, the kick was good. Flawless execution by those special teamers right there, and the kick was good from 25 yards out. So clicking on all cylinders tonight. I've said that numerous of times, but the defense played well. Offensively played well. Special teams, I'm not sure there was really a hiccup in our game tonight, and that's a tribute to those kids and the coaching staff getting those guys ready.
And you know, Schmitty, a field goal, there are so many components to it. The snap, the hold, the offensive line has to be able to hold that defense out, and then, of course, the kicker needs to do his part. And that was perfect at all levels.
Absolutely, Norm. It was. It's not as easy as it looks. Trust me. The timing's got to be exact. You got to have a good snap. You got to have the hold down. And the kicker's got to be in sync with the snap and the holder to get his timing down. So there's a lot that goes into it, not to mention the line got to hold the opposing team from trying to break through to block the kick. So there's a lot of variables going on into a field goal kick, and the Tigers executed it flawlessly.
Looking ahead to see who Orion has for their next game, and it's a tough one. They host Sterling Newman, so no doubt they're getting some of their toughest competition right off the bat. 53-14 Princeton. Benavidez to kick it away. This time it's a squib kick. Takes a Sunday hop, but it's giving the Chargers some problems. They're just going to cover it, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at around the 15-yard line.
So as we go to the running clock, your Tigers up 53-14 over the Chargers. And Norm, I don't know, what have you been impressed with more tonight than anything? What's your takeaways from tonight's game?
Well, there's just on so many levels, but you have to have that line, both offensively and defensively, and the Tigers have clearly won that battle. And there you can see exactly what we're talking about. It is like a brick wall trying to run through that Tiger defense.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a nice job filling the hole there, too, and no gain on the play for numbers are so darn hard to read, but 23 looks like Kratzberg. For Kratzberg, so he might be done for the night.
2nd down and 10 for the Chargers at the 15. They look to throw, and the pass is on the way, and it's intercepted, and it's going to be taken to the house. That is William Watt on the interception return, with 7:33 to go in the 4th.
That's the price you pay when you're down 53-14. You're still airing the ball out, not trying to run the clock out. You put the ball in the air. Good athletes like William Watt's going to pick it off and take it back for a touchdown run. What do you say that was, Norm? Probably about a 18-yard touchdown run, you think?
Sounds good to me. 18-yard interception return. Benavidez on for the PAT.
So William Watt, quarterbacks, just had a pick six, and then all of a sudden he's got a hold for Benavidez to kick it. So, he's kind of like the water boy tonight. He does it all.
Can you imagine if he was getting paid? Command quite a salary.
Yeah, I would try to be that kid's agent right about now.
So 60-14 in favor of the Tigers. Schmitty, I want to bring up, we were talking about the shortage of referees. We had a game this year in baseball, beautiful, Chamber of Commerce weather on a Saturday afternoon, and we couldn't play because we had no umpires. Now, you talk about reality hitting you right in the face, and I have to commend our Tiger parents and fans. Not that it was bad before, but the rest of the season, somebody may have said next to him, I thought he was out, but there was nobody yelling at the officials. And guess what? It didn't make a difference in the outcomes of the game.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Officials, they're tough to get new officials in because of that, right? Of all the complaining and stuff that's been going on in the past years. We got to do better with that as a group of individuals. Just got to do better at, knowing that they're human too, right? We all make mistakes. Heck, I make mistakes every single day. And they're not going to call a flawless game by any means. So you just got to relax and go with the flow with them. And even though it doesn't go in your way, in your favor, they're not trying to do it on purpose by any means.
And I know before the pandemic, there were a group of veteran basketball officials. They would meet at the Prouty building, and they would discuss different situations and stuff that came up or could come up. And you can guess what those gentlemen got paid. Zero.
Right.
It's just because they care about the kids and the game and want to do the best job they can. 1st and 10 for Orion, and they get some nice yardage here on first down, and we want to get that tackler for Princeton.
Evan Driscoll.
Beautifully done.
Yep, that was a textbook form, a tackle by Driscoll.
He's quite an all-around athlete as well, is he not, Schmitty?
Yeah, he plays basketball and runs track.
And Filler coming back with the pass. It's complete to Murdoch. So a nice throw by the freshman quarterback. And we've got a Tiger down on the ground. Common Green, I believe, is the one on the turf. Well, while we've got a moment, Brody, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and give us those volleyball scores again.
Sure thing, Norm. So our volleyball scores tonight, and it was Princeton was at Hall. So our freshmen won 25-14, as well as 25-9. Our sophomores won 25-16 to 25-18 on the second. And finally, our varsity won as well, 25-20 and 25-16. Huge shout out to Coach Puck, as well as the girls volleyball team. Also, in other news, we also had our golf team win tonight. Our golf team beat, in both levels, both JV and varsity, against the Kewanee Boilermakers. Always an exciting rivalry to see some conference play. So right now, our varsity golf team is 500, 5-5, but our JV team, of all things, is 9-1, Norm. 9-1. Our JV team's doing phenomenal. I'm very proud of our golf boys. Anyway, back to you guys.
Pass is complete to number 9, Duncan.
All right, Brody, thanks very much for the update as Filler completes the pass to Adamson for about 6, and the clock dips under 6 minutes to go in the game. Filler back to throw once again, throws long, and this one out of the reach of his intended receiver.
3rd down, Orion.
Trying to see who had the coverage on that one for the Tigers, Schmitty.
Looked like William Lott there on the coverage.
Who already has a pick 6 tonight.
They're playing the safety position, so he's ball hawking for sure.
.520 to go in the game, 60-14 in favor of the Tigers. Now Filler back to throw. He's under heavy pressure, gets it away. Nice play by the Chargers. And the pile continues to push forward. Should be enough for an Orion first down.
Pass is complete. That's enough yardage for an Orion first down.
I'll tell you who I was impressed with on that play, and that was Casey Etheridge, who did a nice job of staying home on that screen pass and didn't get burnt, just couldn't quite make the tackle, but nice job by Casey sticking his nose in there.
Anthony Clark with that reception. Filler to throw. Fires towards the end zone, and this is going to be over the head of everyone.
I don't think Filler and Murdoch were on the same page there. Murdoch ran it out, and old Filler thought he was going to run a corner.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, they've made a lot of nice plays tonight, but I think you're exactly right, just not on the same page. Filler back to throw deep once again. The Tigers have good coverage, and this one is picked off. Carlos Benavides, who's done about everything tonight, Schmitty.
Kicks, intercepts, great job. It was, it was just a great job. It was an overthrown by Filler, but, credit to Carlos. He was there to grab the interception, and that's another turnover for Filler and the Chargers, who's actually turned the ball over 4 times in the air. 4 INTs, that's 4 picks for the Princeton Tigers. And that pretty much, well, we knew that sealed the deal anyways, but 3:28 to go in this contest. It's going to be pretty much run the ball out. Then good night, everybody.
Tiger volleyball team winning tonight. Tiger golf squad winning.
Coach Crawford does a nice job with the golf team, that's for sure.
And of course, our colleague Brody is the assistant coach. So William Mott takes the snap. And a penalty flag comes in. Still sorting this one out, Schmitty.
Illegal motion. The offense. Penalty decline. Touchdown.
So Orion actually recovers a fumble in the end zone.
And I don't know who covered that fumble, so we're just going to put fumble recovery for the.
Yeah, if we find out, we'll let folks know. But for right now, it's just a Orion fumble recovery in the end zone.
That play never looked right from the get-go, as there was some confusion on who was supposed to be where, and a little legal motion action, a little fumble action, and a recovery in the end zone. Just not a great combination, and Coach Pearson calls a timeout. Or he wants an explanation from the official.
And whatever the referee had to say, Coach Pearson accepts and goes back to the sideline. I wonder if maybe he's saying that with the illegal procedure that it should have been a dead ball right then and there. I don't know, just guessing. Here's the PAT kick. And Murdoch misses on this one. So 60-20 in favor of Princeton. Well, when the Tigers get this back, Schmitty, with just over 2 minutes left, they get a first down, and then they can pretty well take a knee and run out the clock.
Yeah, I think it was a well-played game tonight by the Tigers, led by head coach Ryan Pearson. Good game plan, good scheme. You know, Orion's a talented group. Sometimes you don't see that when you're dominated by a superior team, but you know, the Tigers are clicking on all cylinders tonight. Tends to make teams look a little bit worse than what they actually are, because I think Orion is a solid team, playoff potential team, and I think you might see that, you know, when the season's end, they'll have a winning record, I believe.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me either.
I mean, I think they got some talent there. You know, Filler's only going to get better as a freshman quarterback, gets more experience. He's been around the game enough with his dad being the head coach for a long time there. So, you know, good things are going to happen to the Chargers. Just fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, not tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't have the stats in front of me, but if I had to just speculate, I would say in the last 10 years, Orion's probably been in the playoffs 7 or 8. They're
at least half, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
Very strong. All right, so Murdoch to kick off. Squib kick. And the Tigers are going to get somewhat of a return here. They're going to get more than somewhat of a return as they get it near the 50-yard line. And that's William Mott on the return.
So Lott doing interception return for a touchdown. Quarterback in here in the second half. He's the holder for the field goal unit. You know, doing it all tonight.
And actually, the clock has dipped under 2 minutes to go. Theoretically, the Tigers could just take a knee and run out the clock. Whether or not they will is an interesting point indeed. Not watching that back, Judge. He's going to use as much time as possible. Tigers keep it on the ground. And a good 5 yards on that run.
Green, the ball carrier.
Common Green on the carry. Check it. That is Casey Etheridge. Second down and about 3. But the big stat, 110 and counting in the game. Princeton leading 60-20. So Mott, let's see if he just takes a knee here. He does. Not sure if they'll let the time expire. The Tigers are retreating to their sideline, as is Orion. And so that will wrap it up tonight. Princeton wins it 60-20 over Orion. And a big shout out to the Princeton Public School Foundation for all their help, as well as our sponsors of Tiger Football on Tiger Central Live. They include Midland Bank, Mickling Energy, Princeton Ready Crete, Beck's, and Central Bank. Looks like Schmitty is toiling away on some statistics. We'll remind you that next week on Friday night, the Hall Red Devils, Coach Randy Tiemann, will be coming to Bryant Field. And Orion, as we mentioned, their next opponent, well, not an easy one, as they will play the Sterling Newman Comets. Mike Verana, outstanding PA announcer, does a great job. He's ready to head for home. And Schmitty, you got some stats for us?
I do. So for the Orion Chargers, number 2 Cail Filler was 11 for 23. These are all unofficial stats, of course. 11 for 23, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Leading the way for the Chargers, number 23 on the ground, Cole Kratzberg, who had 14 carries for 55 yards. And then, for leading the way for the receiving would be number 20, I believe it's Bladen Murdoch, who had 3 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. The Chargers had 12 first downs, 7 by pass, 4 by rush, 1 by flag. Their penalties was 1 for 5, so they cleaned it up pretty well. For the Tigers, Tegan Davis leading the way in the air, 5 for 11 for 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving those touchdowns would be Saihaki with a 48-yarder and also Augie Christensen with a 1 touchdown. On the rushing, on the ground game, C.J. Hickey actually led the way with 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tegan Davis had 116 yards and a touchdown. Augie Christensen with 5 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. The Tigers had 13 rushing first downs, 4 by pass for 17 total with 4 penalties for 30 yards. And just to cap off some scoring drives real quick, Norm, if you don't mind. 9:30. There's a lot of them. So 9:36 to go in the first quarter. Davis to Christensen for a 35-yard touchdown pass. C.J. Hickey with 7:33 to go in the first quarter. A 40-yard touchdown run. Kick was good by Benavidez, who will lead at 14-0. Then Benavidez comes back with a 37-yard field goal, 2:15 to go in the first quarter, 17-0. Noah Laporte with a big 45-yard INT. Benavidez, kick is good, 24-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then Tegan Davis starts out with 9:36 to go in the second quarter with an 84-yard touchdown run, put the Tigers up 30-0 after the kick was no good. 7:12 to go in the second quarter. Hickey, 18-yard run. Benavidez's kick was good, 37-0. Second quarter, the Chargers get on the board with Filler to Kratzberg for a 35-yard touchdown with a kick by Murdoch was good, 37-7. Second quarter at the end, 5.1 seconds to go. Davis to Saihaki for a 48-yard pass to bring the Tigers up 50-7. And then it was Filler it was Christensen, Christensen with a 3-yard touchdown run to get the running clock going in the third quarter. 7:53 to go, up 50-7. And then filler to Murdoch again for a 54-yard pass, 50-14 with the kick good. And then 25-yard field goal by Benavidez brings the score up to 53-14 with 9:02 to go in the fourth. And then 18-yard interception by William Lott with 7:33 to go in the fourth quarter with the kick was good by Benavidez, bring the Tigers up 60-14. And then we had an Orion fumble recovery late at night, or late in the quarter, in the fourth quarter with like 2:25 to go. The 60-20 Tigers win. So great win by the Tigers. It's been a fun night. I appreciate everybody who's doing this. And back to you, Norm.
Great job by you, Schmitty. And thanks, of course, to Steve Morton, who heads up our broadcast, Steve Gray, Brody Anderson, our student helpers, Cail Piper, Austin Gordon, and Colby Clemens. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. And we'll see you on Tiger Central Live on Friday night. Not tomorrow night, but a week from Friday, as the Hall Red Devils come to Bryant Field. Again, our final score, Princeton 60, Orion 20.